Spirit. It is official. When you hear that song every Thursday, it means that the good Rev is back in the Bew.
Indeed, I'm back in the Bew, and it's a big fat greeting to all of you. I hope you're doing well. I know it's darkness across the city.
Oh yes, oh yes.
These days you drive across Lusaka, it's just dark, you know.
And some special places where power doesn't go.
Yeah, like the hospital. Yeah, you'll see that.
Well,
and a few residences.
I didn't think you were going to mention the hospital. I'm mentioning residential places here, Rev.
No, they're very powerful.
Special residential places where power doesn't go.
It never does. Like, for example, one of the residences I know, I'm told there are lights even pointing in the trees.
My goodness.
You know, that's supposed to be a switch and save, but not at that place.
No,
lights pointing.
They can't be switch and save. You can't. You can't.
So lights pointing at the trees. Yeah.
Wow.
The struggles. But anyway.
Siyana kwa office.
Maziva ka.
Zakafikako.
Ngati ndiwe muntu ngati sindiwe muntu. So amene ayibema light sindimwe bantu. And wayela ndiye bantu. So today, you know, I'm very keen. I'm jumping straight into my topic. You know, last time we didn't do this topic. It was the 10 key principles of social engineering, the art of deception. And if you remember, I did a very detailed breakdown before, right?
Yes, I remember that.
And then we left it in the middle. So I'm going to do a recap in this first half so that when we get to the other side of the news, then we now jump into the other half. So this particular stuff I'm talking about was gleaned off both The Art of Deception, Weaving the Lie by Kelvin Mitnick, and also from my knowledge as a neuropsychology and neuro-leadership coach. Human behavioral engineering is a very effective tool in getting people to perform in a very specific way and can be utilized positively or negatively, depending on the person with the skill. So in our circles, we call it conscious leadership. So did you know that many of us will fall victims to many strategies of manipulation through conditioned social engineering? If you're listening to me right now, I am going to demonstrate. Now, in short, people who have mastered the art of deception, as we call it, can and do manipulate others all the time to get their way in lives. Now, with a little practice, a skilled social engineer, which many papas and narcissists with patience have honed as skills to subvert many rules and get away with so much. And get this, without those who have been manipulated even realizing that they've been manipulated. That's how powerful the skills are. So some basic examples of how manipulation works. Conmen and scam artists have mastered this art so well, and so have honeypot ladies. So honeypot trap ladies are very good at these as well. So a good example, a person gets out of a speeding ticket by fooling the police into revealing a time when the arresting officer will be out of town and then requesting a court date coinciding with that time. So that she's you get it.
It doesn't happen.
Officer Salib. 2. A person gains access to a company's internal computer system guarded by a password that changes daily by waiting for a snowstorm and then calling the network center posing as a snowed-in employee who wants to work from home, tricking the operator into revealing today's password and access. Wow, Naga. So there's an incident and then they pretend. And they get in. Another one. A person gains much proprietary information about a startup company by waiting until the CEO is out of town and then showing up at the company headquarters pretending to be a close friend and business associate. That one works very well. And many times workers get a bit bamboozled, so they don't know what's going on. Kanshi ni conman. You get it, huh? Another one, a person gains access to a restricted area by approaching the door carrying a large box of books and relying on other person's propensity to hold the door open for them. See that trick? So you come there, you're holding stuff. Please do me a favor. So you're open with your card, he gains access. So no one knows. Even when they do a trail, they can't find what time that person entered.
Yeah, because there's no
record.
His footprints,
because they went in.
The prints are not there.
Yes, they went in at the time that the other person was going in. You see that? Then the honeypot trap, which is a very powerful one, that works through the use of very attractive men or women, or a man or woman who is cleverly woven into the everyday life of the target in order to get to either glean information from them over time, which is pillow talk, or more sinisterly bring down the target. A famous case in a known country of a bishop of honey trap was used. I told the story. I'm not going to tell you today. And if you're a fan of movies, in the movie, the latest Mission Impossible, the lady that stole the key, you know, they were tracking this key everywhere, all over the airports and everything. So the question was, how did she manage to get out of the area and not have the key with her? She was very clever. She pretended to have a chat with some man next to her in the plane, and then, you know, she's very beautiful. The man, she studied. You see, these are people who are very clever. They study that man and they realize this man has never been approached by a woman like me. So they know that when they do that, then it really bolsters the confidence of the man and drops his guard. And as she was saying bye to him, she gives him a hug and a peck and drops the key in his breast pocket.
So he is the one who couriers the key.
There you go.
He doesn't know.
He has no idea. And then they now make a plan to link up later. And when they link up later on, she makes sure that it is before he can change or anything, or she can bump into him again at the. In fact, she can wait literally for him and say, "Oh, there you are. Ah, you know what? I look forward." And then as she's hugging him, gets the key again. Clever method. Yeah, so that person doesn't realize they've just been played by a very clever manipulator. So these are methods that are used. This honey trap strategy, which is the art of deception, has been used against corporate heads, key government and private strategic persons of interest, and even presidents. So the idea is to get them to have sex with the target, then use pictures or other items to blackmail them. In the more effective method, honey traps are even murdered whilst with the target. Then a cleaner comes to get rid of the evidence, which then places the target in the debt of the cleaner and the shadow group, and it becomes very effective blackmail. So the honey trap doesn't realize she's going to be killed. Or they can do the prostitute trap. And whilst they're with the prostitute dies under mysterious circumstances. The truth is that she's been killed by those people. And then now there's a mess. And then somebody says, "Don't worry, boss, we'll sort it out."
But you have to do this and that.
No, they won't even say that. They'll just sort it out. So now you have Nkongo.
Oh, you're indebted to them.
Yes. They say, don't worry. What do I need to do? Do I need to pay? Don't worry about paying. Uncle Charlie's covered this. Don't worry. Uncle Charlie will come and ask for a favor one day. Ima sevens are very powerful. Another one, scammers. This one is very effective. Scammers use the false positives model to steal from persons through presenting a wealthy and successful outlook first, complete with multiple cases of payments on your way first, and then when confident with this, then they pull the big lie. Examples are the famous Tinder swindler who scammed a number of women in Europe to the tune of millions of dollars. How was this guy doing it? He presented himself first as a billionaire young heir and entrepreneur. Got those women wowed by all the high class game and you know the whining and dining, and then when they were comfortable, then pretended to be in trouble with mafias from Russia, and then got to utilize them and swindled each woman out of $100,000. So he would pretend he's in trouble. Please help me. I need $20,000. I need $50,000. I need $100,000. I'll pay you back. This woman has seen this man flying private jets. What's $100,000?
Nothing.
She's not even going to be worried.
Change.
Yeah, it's change. So she thinks he's genuinely in trouble. What he's doing at that time is now using this woman's money to wine and dine and woo another woman somewhere else.
The art of deception.
Oh, Ndala. So, how can one learn these and avoid falling victim, or being savvier as not to be manipulated so easily? So this is why now, one of the things, of course, is you can join my neuropsychology class, which costs quite a bit of money, or just learn a thing or two from what we're going to talk about today. So here are 10 principles that skilled social engineers use to manipulate us. These skills are used by everyone from the sneaky girlfriend or side chick to the multiple dating partners Mario and Ben 10s, the lying politicians, the hugely influential papas and celebrity preachers, also known as demigods, and the super smart scam artists. So these are the 10 strategies they use. I will quickly run through 5, but We did the 5 before, so we're supposed to pick it up from the last 5. So the time principle, the need for greed principle, the deception principle, the dishonesty principle, the social compliance authority principle, the herd principle, the consistency principle, the distraction principle, the reciprocity principle, and the flattery principle. These are powerful data. They are 10. And they are used powerfully by these guys. So in the time principle, they basically get you to make decisions under time pressure. It's very effective. Oh, this thing is going to run out. Like, for example, when people are under time constraints, they tend to use different decision-making strategies. So social engineers exploit this by creating urgency or time pressure. For example, in phishing emails, urgent requests like your account will be suspended unless you act now. Manipulate victims into making hasty decisions without carefully scrutinizing whether this is real or not. Number 2, the cycle of deception. Still under the same. In this one, social engineers attack social engineering attacks follow a cycle involving an attacker, defender, and a victim. So there are 3 people and they con you. I'm just going to have to jump this. Then number 2, the need for greed. This is very good. Do you know, today, by the way, I wasn't mentioned by name, but I was mentioned. I saw a video on a famous papa's page.
Is there warfare between you and these papas?
Me, I'm just calling them out. I call them out all the time. So I saw a video where somebody said, "Don't worry about those small boys in Zambia. Let them focus on their ministry and show us what they are doing, even as us we are doing what we're doing." So as usual, people tag me, Rev.
They wanted to hear your comment.
No, I won't make a comment. I've already said enough. It's out there in the public. I mean, I think the one that made them comment is because I shared the video of the woman who testified about being married to a white man. Yeah, so I just shared that, and I didn't condemn the woman in any way. I just said it's sad that we reach a place as Africans where getting married to a white man is a testimony in church. You should watch it. It's an interesting video.
No, is it the same? Is it the same video where the woman is
supposed to be from Nigeria,
supposedly
but the accent,
speaking in
a very
strange, weird accent? I saw that video.
That's the one. So I did a comment, and if you go on my page, there's almost 700 comments. Because I just shared it. I didn't even copy or record. No, I just literally shared it and said, it's sad that we have to get to this level. So I think that one, plus what I said on my friend Dr. Mwami, and then also then I did a post where I actually said, please, this guy is just a scammer. Forget about him. I did an actual post and put his name there. Oh, I got some serious backlash on that one. But I said what I said.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So I think with those comments, I think a lot of the followers have been very pissed off. So I'm sure they told the man of God, there's this useless, extremely useless pastor in Zambia. He's a really jealous man. Then he talks about you all the time. Look now what he's done. So I think that's when now he's made the comment he's made. Because in Zambia, which other person has openly come in the public to call him out?
None, actually.
Yeah.
Well, except you.
Exactly. So obviously, next thing I'm sure it will be my name.
He'll call you by name.
Yes. And then you mete out a curse. But you see, I have just find these things very funny because it's all the art of deception. So the need for greed principle is one where they use desires, where you have an issue in your life, something that's painful in your life, whether it's wealth, success, love, security, illness. They identify that in your life and then they use a promise to sort that out. So that promise makes you drop guards and become trusting, hoping that they'll sort you out.
Or even lazy.
Yeah, especially on the love and success. Yeah,
because you're being told that
if you do this,
he is seen.
That's why the person
is seen.
For example, remember what that woman said?
Yeah.
Now I don't have to do anything. I just sit and I have a worker to work for me to do everything because I married a white man. And of course, those things can't go minus the power why it happened. I went to the prophet and I sowed my seed and I took my tithe there. And he prayed for me, and now I have a white man. Now I've got visas to go to Germany. Tragic.
The art of deception.
The art of deception. See, the need for greed. So it's a very powerful method, and sometimes they combine it with urgency, and it works superbly well. I got a break here so that you just take us into the news, and then we'll pick it up very quickly and clear these and get to the others as well, and hopefully we can cover everything at that time. So don't go away, you guys watching by this platform. We are coming.
All right, just stay tuned. We've got the headlines coming up shortly.
Rev Walter on Prosperity Insights, now on Hot FM.
Tell me, do you wanna have some fun? There's enough for everyone.
Tasty, tasty, so divine.
Plenty, plenty for you and I.
Maxi, maxi, maxi.
Maxi, maxi, maxi. E on conchele.
Brought to you by Yo-Yo Fun Snacks.
The Hot FM News headlines every 30 minutes on your number one for news and entertainment are powered by Yo-Yo Foods.
It's 19 hours and these are the headlines. Citizens First has officially launched its party manifesto for the 2026-2031 with an emphasis to transform the welfare of youths. President Hakainde Hichilema has with immediate effect relieved Zambia Army Commander Lieutenant Stali Aluwizi of his duties. 6 doors have been gutted at Lusaka's Soweto market. In international news, Peru's former president Alberto Fujimori, who was convicted of human rights abuses and corruption, has died at the age of 86. And in sports news, club president Pablo Longoria says Marseille looked at all the information when signing Mason Greenwood from Manchester United and that he has no regrets over the deal. We should catch the main bulletin coming up at 20 hours.
Hot FM, you made us number one. For news and entertainment. Hot FM.
Auto Talk Garage. For all your vehicle needs and checkups, you are welcome to come and visit us. Auto Talk is an insurance-approved garage that offers auto mechanics, auto electrical, panel beating, and more. We service the following brands: Audi, BMW, Ford, Jaguar, Jeep, Land Rover, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, and VW. For more details, contact us on 0772-960-129 or 0977-717-064. We are located off Lilai Road opposite New Petroda Filling Station, Greystone, Chalala. Stand 10622. Auto Talk, the car specialist.
1xBet presents an exciting world of entertainment. In the 1x games, you will find Crash, Dice, Apple of Fortune, Money Wheel, and other top games with many chances to win big wins. Go to 1xbet.com.zm today. Use the promo code Zambia Games and get up to 41,000 kwachas plus 150 free spins. Fun to play, fast to win. It's your best chance to grab your luck with 1xBet.
Are you tired of witnessing corruption but feeling powerless to act? Do you believe that speaking up is the right thing to do but fear victimization? It's time to make your voice heard. The Anti-Corruption Commission has introduced an online anonymous whistleblower system where your anonymity is our priority. Visit our whistleblower website at www.whistleblower.acc.gov.zm to report anonymously. A corrupt-free Zambia begins with me.
Yaba, malaiti zona.
Hello, neighbor.
Hello, neighbor. Chifukwa chani uli ndi malaiti?
Neighbor na imwe. Kumbukirani kuti ndinakuwuzani kuti ndili ndi Maiso Solar TV Kit. Ala yanithandiza kwambiri kukhala ndi malaiti mu nyumba komanso zosangalatsa. Apa ndangomaliza kumene upenyerera filimu ina yake pa ziwawo.
Oh, chinthu chabwino kwambiri neighbor. Imwe ndi mwachiphale. Kuti ndingabwera usapenyerako filimu yatsopano pa Zambezi Magic?
Inde aneba bwerani we
sinthani lekani kuyisira ntchito magetsi ena ndi kutenga maiso solar tv kit yomwe ibwera ndi dstv kapena go tv ndi malaiti ndipo sangalalani kosalekeza ndi mafilimu amuno kapena akunja tumani lamya pa 0961 844 428 kapena fikani ku maiso service center yomwe ili kufupi ndi kwanu kuti mugule lero. Maiso, kalani umoyo opambana.
Hot FM, where every time is prime time.
Rev Walter on Prosperity Insights. Now on Hot FM.
So we're back. Let me just wear my headphones. So we pick it up. So the need for greed is the second factor. Then the third one, I'll be real quick with this, is the deception principle. Now this one plays a central role in both social engineering and phishing tactics. And in both cases, the attacker aims to manipulate or trick their target into taking certain actions or revealing confidential information by posing as a trustworthy entity. So there's the deceptive relationships. This is very, very powerful. Like the Tinder swindler we talked about. Then the second one is crafting urgent scenarios. This is where something is going to go wrong, so you need to act now. And then also appearing harmless and legitimate. This is very powerful, especially with the papas. Then number 4, the dishonesty principle. This one is a core element in the art of deception and social engineering. The first one is false identities, very, very popular. Second one is misleading information. This is where you have deceptive messages that often contain misleading information, half-truths, plausible scenarios, fabricated details that help appear legitimate, and victims unknowingly provide confidential data and gets, just cheated. Like the, what's that famous statement? Tina Golide. The Tina Golide. Whatever it is, that message, very, very powerful. Then camouflaged intentions as well. Then number 5, so this is where now I'm going to slow down, the social compliance authority principle. Now I'm going to really dig into this and let's see how far we can go. We'll take some calls at 35, somewhere there. Now in this one, the social compliance principle, also known as the authority principle, is a powerful tool in social engineering. Here is how it works. And this is what the papas use. It's very powerfully used by the papas, but it's used by pretty much anybody in this position who wants to be manipulative. So we call it the leveraging of authority figures. Social engineers exploit our natural inclination to comply with figures of authority. This comes from childhood. We call it a parental frame. So and the child frame, there are two. So many times when you want to comply with the figure of authority, you take on what we call the child frame. And this is a very powerful method that works very well. Experiments have shown that when people are instructed by authority figures like policemen, officers, lawyers, judges, pastors, or even bosses, they tend to follow instructions even when, get these, those instructions go against their moral standards. So do you start now to understand why, for example, in a recent case, which we're not going to mention names, but where there was a big expose by the BBC against one particular well-known prophet, and that video showed how certain individuals in that place were being actually abused, whipped and beaten. Why would others not speak? Some of the people who were testifying said, we knew this was going on, but we're too afraid to speak. Answer: they could not speak because of the authority figure leverage. So many times, if you belong to a church or belong to a workplace and the person that is above you is giving instructions that go against your moral stance, you are more likely to do those instructions because of the authority figure. So people who've understood this utilize it powerfully. This is why in a number of religious circles, you are told not to question your pastor. You are told not to question your leaders, because questioning is a mark of disobedience. That is taught throughout. It is peppered. We have a terminology, it's called primed. You are primed not to be asking questions. Famous scriptures to make sure you don't ask questions: touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. So when you hear that, it's an instruction from scripture. Then those authority leaders will tell you, that's why some of you are in curses. That's why so and so is suffering. That's why so and so and so. And you know, me, I've seen people who, they say, I'm done, I want to leave. When they're leaving, they'll even be cursed by the church. What that does, the purpose behind that is to put fear in those remaining. So that even when there are things that are wrong, you are so uncomfortable with confronting them because you are afraid. Because they made an example. There's a reason why when you run a company, if you have bad people in the company, if you have people who do wrong, there's a reason why it's so important to make a public spectacle of them. You see, in the old days, what they used to do is if you do something wrong, what they would do is they would take you through a public trial, which everybody heard. When they're done with the trial, they would take you to the city square. They will put you on a stake and burn you. And then when you're burned, they would hang your body for 3 days. You know the purpose of that? To make you an example.
Oh, yeah.
So the idea is you light them up and hang them. So the firing must be very public. It must be very, very open. And everybody must see what has happened. That instills fear. So in the art of deception, that's how you create the authority figure. That's why the old dictators of back in the day, in 1965, when Mobutu Sese Seko decided to finally become the life president of Congo, because first of all, that's the time he changed his name even to Zaire. But he did something very interesting. He identified, because there was a lot of chaos going on, Shombe and Lumumba, all the chaos. It was even called the Congo-Katanga crisis. And remember, Dag Hammarskjöld's plane even crashed. Many believe it was shot down. There was a lot of issues going on in the Congo. At one point, the UN sent soldiers there. It was chaotic. There was a lot of pressure going on in the Congo at that time. So in 1965, what's his name just decided, I'm done. I'm taking over this whole thing. So when he took over, do you know what he did? This is now going to exemplify the social compliance authority principle. He identified all the key opposition people and all the people that were supposed to be a danger to Congo. And you know what he did with them? Put them through a very public trial, which was transmitted on radio. Everybody heard. They had microphones in the court. These guys were charged with treason and whatever, and they were sentenced to death. And do you know what he did? He did a public execution. They opened the National Stadium in Kinshasa, invited everybody to the execution, and there were about 5 or 6 of these leaders. I can't remember if they were shot or hanged, but it was a very public execution. And from that day, that's how Mobutu Sese Seko asserted himself as the lifetime president of Congo.
Until he ran away.
Until he ran away when things went bad, because he was no longer useful to the powers that be. But you see, from that day, nobody dared to confront or go against him. This is how you do it. So if you check the story of Stalin, how did Stalin assert himself as the ultimate leader of Russia? Same thing. How did Chairman Mao Zedong set himself up as the ultimate leader of China? Same thing. How did Kim Jong, the first president, the guy, Kim Il-sung or whatever his name was, how did he assert himself as the life president and royalty of Korea, North Korea? Same thing. How did Pol Pot of Colombia, wherever it is, but it's in Cambodia, I always get the name. Colombia and Cambodia. Colombia is in South America. No, Cambodia. How did he assert himself as life president of Cambodia with the killing fields? Same thing. You see what I'm saying? So this idea of using fear and power is very powerful. And that's exactly what these papas do. So they may not shoot people out in the public, but they'll definitely make you a spectacle. They'll definitely make your exit very public. And the idea is to put fear into those remaining. So it works very well. So it's called leveraging authority figure. So you can be the authority figure, or you can pretend to be an authority figure. And that one also works very well. And you'll be amazed how when you call and say, I'm head of security at blah, 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 blah. We need to run you through some tests and just verify if everything is okay. Can you get your bank details? We want to run you through and confirm and verify. So let's have your full name again. to say, hello, I'm calling you, I'm from ABSA, Zambia, blah, blah, blah. You have an account with ABSA? Yes, okay, great. So we need you to verify a number of things. Hello, I'm calling you from Airtel. That's the funny one. Hello, I'm calling you from Airtel. You have been a good customer and you have won 3 million kwacha or 3,000 kwacha. Now we need you to go through a process, which if you agree, we will be very happy. Could you verify how much money is in your account right now? You read those, right?
I have.
Very powerful. And many people have been scammed. So we call this the what? The social compliance authority strategy. There's also the fear and respect strategy, which I just gave about, which is done by the famous papas. They love it. When you add God is everywhere and I saw you because God showed me twist, many gullible people fall for this hook, nail, and sinker. I know what you're doing. And so what these fake so at least they can hear you. So do you have any issues with family? They'll go check. Do you have issues with marriage? They'll check. Do you have a business you're running? They'll check. Like a bit of investigation, I can quickly pick out what are problems with anybody. You get my point? Very easy. Then those are the details. Now you're a special person, you're a famous known person. So they'll make sure they quickly get that data, compile it, and then hand it over to the prophet of God. And he'll call it out. And then you think it's a prophecy, you think this man is prophesying. He's just a smart man who knows how to dig out information. They're all of them, from the one that everybody's going to right now on busloads, to the ones in South Africa, to the ones that come from Zimbabwe, the ones from Malawi, same game. They all use the same game. And it's very effective. And because they also induce fear and respect, people don't ask. Okay, so people don't ask, people don't check. Which brings us to the sixth one now, the herd principle. Do me a favor and find out if you can get what's his name to connect it back, if it's possible. Okay. Yeah. So meantime, number 6 is the herd principle. Now the herd principle, known as mob psychology, plays a significant role in social engineering. Here's how it works, guys. They use herd behavior. Now the herd principle suggests that what others are doing can strongly influence behavior. In social engineering, individuals in a group may collaborate and compromise their security due to collective behavior. This is known as groupthink. If one is perceived as most knowledgeable, acts one way, the others will agree with this leader, which in turn creates herd behavior. So for instance, people may follow the crowd in clicking on suspicious links or sharing sensitive information, because others are doing the same. So social media and social proof seriously influences even the most stubborn persons. One of the most interesting things that is happening right now, my friends, there's been a scam running. It's actually a scam, but people don't know it's a scam. Very cleverly, the first time it was supposed to be a testimony on Costa Mwanza. It is so untrue, okay? So in the Costa Mwanza scenario, there's a report that came out and said that when Costa Mwanza was doing an interview with Helen Piri, or whoever she is, that Bank of Zambia called and told them to discontinue the call. That's a very interesting story. It has no basis in reality, but it's a very interesting story. When people heard that they were made to discontinue, the reasoning was that because Costa Mwanza is now making millions of dollars using this system. So if you want, you can also bring your money, put it in there, and within a few days, your money starts to double. So they used the Costa Mwanza trick first, and then I don't know how many people caught on to that, but it was a very powerful scam. This time around now, they've used Maureen Nkandu. So they said Maureen Nkandu was on SABC. They even put a clip. Then they say Bank of Zambia phoned Maureen Nkandu and stopped her from continuing the interview because she was divulging serious information about how to make money. Now, the whole idea is that by using those, you get into the whole herd mentality. They put a link there. They say this thing works with AI, and it's getting people to make millions because you put in $200 within 3 days. It's gotten back your 200. You start doubling your money. Some people, it's gone into thousands of dollars, and they are making a killing. And now Bank of Zambia wants to block everybody so they don't. This is a very clever old trick. And I know a number of people have already put their money in there, and they're going to cry because it will all disappear. The truth is, it's got nothing to do with Costa Mwanza. It's got nothing to do with Maureen Nkandu. It is a trick used to get people to jump into the herd mentality. And once word starts going around on social, everybody starts wanting to be part of that because they say, I think I'm missing out. You know how the herd works? No. So many people say, I think I'm missing out. I think I'm missing out. Let me jump in real quick. So that's the sixth one. Then the seventh one is the consistency principle. Now, in the consistency principle, this is a powerful tool in social engineering, and here's how it works. One, you have initial compliance. So to leverage the consistency principle, the attacker gets the victim into initially complying with a small request. So they start to take a small ask. And then once commitment is made, people tend to act consistently with previous actions. And then the scammers exploit this by starting with minor requests, paving the way for the larger requests later. This works powerfully when seemingly positive results are shown in the beginning. This is what we earlier alluded to as false positives. And this is extremely effective and can fool even the most vigilant among us. This is how this gentleman, what's his name? Madoff. Do you ever hear of a man called Madoff? They gave him 150 years in prison. Do you know that Madoff and his infamous Wall Street investment that fooled everyone worked using that principle? A number of cryptocurrency scammers and opportunities have utilized this trick as well, only to come and just disappear later on. One of the most famous ones was pulled off by the OneCoin founder, Ruja Ignatova. That lady, I've never seen a more brilliant woman than Ruja Ignatova. I am challenging everybody right now, go and actually register Ruja Ignatova right now, and you're going to see who she is. You will be blown away. This lady was literally able to scam the entire British system. Believe it or not. Do you know how much that lady ran away with? She disappeared in 2017. She created a cryptocurrency called OneCoin and got over listen to this, $4 billion. Yes. Even the biggest banks invested in OneCoin because of how it was growing. That lady, just to give you how powerful she is, think of Dumisani and his Heroes Stadium thing. And then think of a woman and she does Wembley and she fills it up. 70,000 people in Wembley and she's pitching to them about OneCoin. Banks, Mdala, banks, including Barclays, put money in there. One day they just woke up and she disappeared. To this day, she disappeared in 2017. To this day, she's never been found. Now $4 billion yabantu ndio inaendela. Ruja Ignatova. I'm not making this up.
Russian?
Yeah, well, Romanian.
Okay.
But very beautiful, brilliant, intelligent lady. Even if you listen to her, you go, this lady is brilliant. She was brilliant. Like, there are videos of her you can Google and listen to her pitch in the accent, with the Russian accent. Brilliant, brilliant woman. I'm telling you, all of us were fooled. I just didn't join it because I was not interested. But I listened to her, I said, hey, this lady. Even some of the top names in the network marketing industry joined. That's Ruja Ignatova. She messed up a lot of people. People committed suicide because of this woman. So, many top executives of that company were arrested and convicted, but she got away with everything. Imagine. She got away with everything. Okay? And then phishing tactics. Okay? Scammers take advantage of people's desire to be consistent. They ask for something small and then they build it to something large and then they run away. That's why the conmen, this one works very well. Because they give you that confidence. No. You put in, you get back. You put in, you get back. You put in, you get back. And you're like, this thing is real. Okay, so in the end, you say, why shouldn't I just withdraw that money from Bank of Zambia, which I'm investing? Let me just close my bonds, move them here, because this is making proper money. But you say, they don't want you just alone. So they want you to bring people, and they're showing, and everybody's happy. Money is building, until it reaches a certain amount. Once it reaches the amount they want. I mean, in Zambia, we had that, what was it called? Something coin. People even got locked up for 1 year. I got into trouble with some of the principals in Lusaka because they thought I was attacking them. What's it called? Herbo coin. But they even had a office per Chilenja patch. With Bank of Zambia with guns and everything went and raided it, and then they arrested people, and it took long for people to get their money back, as usual. I've just forgotten. It started with an H. Heritage coin. That's right. Yes. Same principle. That. Do you know that the principals suffered and got locked up for nothing because they also were scammed by the real people? That's how these guys work. They're too smart. So they pay you. Mungo Savaila, start bringing your friends. You have meetings. They are paying you. And now people bring a lot of money. Once it starts going into the millions, then they get word that Bank of Zambia is snooping around. When they just get that word, overnight they transfer all the money and close the accounts. When you get in the morning, you are checking to see your balance. It's saying site is under maintenance. Check site under maintenance. So now the calls start coming. Have you gone to the site? Yeah, I don't know. Call the manager. Manager, what's happening? I don't know. Let me find out from the bosses. Kwasira zaenda months. And there's always somebody who's putting 100 pin, 200 pin. And that's how it happens. So this is a very common one. If you're not listening to me, nizako. Number 8 is the distraction principle. We need to take calls at about 1932, somewhere there. So I want to finish this. The distraction principle. The distraction principle is a powerful tool in social engineering. Here's how it works. You focus diversion. Okay, so social engineers create distractions to divert victims' attention away from critical details. So a clever ploy is to call and play a weakling mother with a crying baby in the background. It is very clever. Very clever, this one. You just get a recording on YouTube of a child crying. You switch that on in the background, and then you start talking to somebody and feigning that you're stuck, you don't know what to do. I'm here, I need my mobile money, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. And when it's done correctly, it will fool many customer service people on the other side. Yes, when it's done properly, it can fool even the most smart people, unless you already know about it. So then when they do that, they ask for sensitive information via customer service. So if somebody doesn't know, they are fooled. They say, okay, no, let me help you. Sorry, that baby. And what they'll do is they'll target a woman. So when they call, if it's a man who picks, they cut. Call, if it's a man who picks, they cut. Call until a woman. When it's a woman, then the baby cries. And then she now does the act. It works. No. Because that woman will empathize. Oh, this is a mother, poor lady. And put the baby on loud volume. In the background. And you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying. My husband had given me these details. Now I don't know what to do. I don't know. I need help. I'm stuck here. What do I do? This is my line. So if it's done well, it works. So people say, okay, no problem. Let me help you with the reset. Let me resend the... finished. That can be used for bank accounts. It can be used. So it's only when you have trained people who know, no, we don't allow. But there's always somebody that can be easily fooled with this method. So we call it the distraction principle. The other one, while victims are preoccupied, the attacker can execute their deceptive plan unnoticed. This works more powerfully if the decoy is emotionally invested. So examples can include a noisy fake fight that draws attention away from the items to be stolen. It's very common in many places. We call it misdirection. So you want to do something in a place, but you need to distract people. So you create a fake fight. So everybody's attention is that side. You just pass there, you pick phones, you can pick anything and off you go. So you work as a team. Then kafight kasira, mwapeleka na panja. Because it's a whole group, like maybe 5 or 6. 2 fight, then 4 aleshelela ring. In the process, make enough drama so that everybody is really distracted. And once they're distracted, you know your targets. You've already targeted who you want. So the key personnel in that place, you've already got them sitting strategically at the right place. So when that drama is going on, atenga my handbag, wallets, very quickly, phones, just and it's one person per item. So Aonika Monga and Kala next is sitting next there doing something, but when that distraction comes, just when the distraction starts, they've already taken the item. And you know how effective that is, huh? It's very effective. Unless you're just one of those who's also used, you say, these things, when there's distraction like this, somebody's about to steal. So you pull your bag near, you hold your phone and then you're looking. But you've got them next to you. So then they won't get. But a lot of people in restaurants, in pubs, in places like that, they automatically get distracted. The phone is there. Nobody's looking at the phone. Gone. All the phones. So that's one method. Okay. Then multitasking vulnerability. Humans struggle with multitasking. So scammers exploit this by overwhelming victims with multiple stimuli, an urgent message, pop-ups, and unexpected events. In the chaos, victims may overlook red flags or suspicious requests. And this is how powerful misdirection coupled with decoy works very well. So a lot of people easily get scammed with this one. Then number 9, the reciprocity principle. This one is a powerful tool in social engineering. How they do is they offer small favors. This one really works, huh? Humans have an innate tendency to feel obligated to return favors or kindness shown to them. So this therefore makes reciprocity a powerful principle. These people will leverage this by offering something small like a free gift or favor with the intention of later requesting a much larger favor in return. So it works powerfully all the time because it catches people unaware. The Tinder swindler used it well. And then you remember also the one I talked about where you have a powerful politician, you have some event, and then you come and help clean it up. But the truth is that you are the one who created the event. They think it's a random event. You get it? But the truth is you engineered that event to start with, and they have no clue. And then you pretend to clean it up and sort it out. They have no clue. And then afterwards, you tell them, don't worry. Tizaka buela bueno. And when the time you need the big thing to happen, you go back to them. So the ones who do very big scams, they can do that to multiple personnel in different parts of the system. So there's an accountant in that accounts department. We need to reach out. How do we get them? Okay, there's a lady who works there. What can we do? Let's help the lady's daughter with the getting school shiny. Then we'll ask her one day to get certain daughter details. Then in this place, there's a person who does this. Well, we're going to do this and that and that. And then when the time comes, you call in all these favors and everybody works for you. And nobody knows they are part of a big scam. Because they all think it's small little unconnected incidences, but it's all part of the same one big thing. And finally, The flattery principle. This one is powerful. This one. And the women know how to use this one. How does it work? Social engineers use flattery to build rapport and gain trust. So by praising the target's abilities, appearances, or achievement, you create a positive connection. So victims are more likely to comply with requests from someone who has flattered them. This is in line with child frame in that when children are complimented, they are twice more likely to do what we request. So all humans, they crave for rap. That's what I say. Recognition, appreciation, and praise. And this is why the honeypot trap works very well. So what these good subversives do is they identify a man and just start to make it look like they love the man. And they can look like a widow who is helpless but connected with this man and they like him. Very beautiful, because they have to have an asset. If you've got no beauty, it's a rough one. So that's why they like beautiful women, because they know that that woman is already an asset by her looks. And all she does is just identify a lonely old man who has money or power or is the target for the group. And then she plays along. She starts by complimenting the man. She starts by speaking nice about him. And if this man has not heard those compliments for a long time, they start to fall victim. Now, some people, it's not a big group. Some people, it's just women who have mastered the art of manipulating old, lonely men. So they identify, just like the men who also identify the old, lonely women, with money. You know, like the famous TV series, The Charmer.
The Charmer.
Yes, so you identify old, lonely men. But it works very powerfully with old, lonely women. And you go in there and just play the nicest person. And you put up a false image. So if they are a wealthy woman, you have to put up the false wealth look as well. So you don't want to go there looking like a broke person, but with such positive qualities that the woman falls for you. And once you've put that up and they've bought into it, then you slowly work your way into gaining her total trust. And once that is done, then you sweep her clean and disappear. Na to pension tuanse mwaenda nato. Let's open the lines for calls, for those who may want to say one or two things on this. But this is the 10 key principles on social engineering. In my next one, I want to deal with an even more touchy topic concerning how exactly the unholy, I'm calling it the unholy hustle. How exactly do these false prophets do so well? What are their tricks? We're going to be lifting the hood on that. And I'll be sharing on the show.
Rev Walter, Mambazi. How are you, sir?
I am brilliant. How are ya?
This is James.
Yes, James. Go ahead, sir.
Matisekula mutu baba. From pastors to the lower people.
Yes. Tirina Golid. Especially amethyst.
This is James, by the way.
Yes, James, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to find out. There's this man from Nigeria. You know, he's talking a lot about tithe against pastors.
Damina.
Yes.
But Satani, Damina.
There are some things that are making sense. Some yes is off the line.
Yes.
But vinango, that
sure.
man, if you follow him properly, yes, but there's another thing that's a gula mutu.
Yeah, for sure, I can't argue.
I was like, you know what? This man, I think about Muhammadinga because but when you look at you will learn a lot, and a lot of pastors,
yeah, the unfortunate part is that we're now at a time and era where ignorance reigns supreme. So it's a very unfortunate situation, James.
Yeah, and you know, I think sometimes God can use the foolish people, you know, to open up people's eyes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's what I've come to understand. He may be foolish, but one day we'll realize that yeah.
Very true.
Very, very true, actually. I've just realized, I said, Vinango is Mutamba, Vinango, yes, is Vikonga, Vinango, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another thing, but there used to be that Kamona, sometimes it's been closed also, right?
Yeah, I don't know where they've reached now.
Kamono.
Yes, Kamono.
Joined, but hey,
That one they got into a lot of problems. Oh yeah. No, that one was rough. Okay, thank you, James. All the best.
Okay.
Bye. Let's take more calls. Good contribution. Indeed, one has to be very mindful of what's going on right now.
Very true. Do give us a call. The number is 0974 870 877. That's the number that you can get in touch with us. Okay, we have a caller here.
Hello.
Hi, Rev. How are you?
I'm brilliant. Who are we speaking to?
I'm talking to Christian. It's my first time reaching
Oh,
out.
nice. Please go ahead, Christian.
I always listen to you.
Ah.
And I believe from the time I started listening to you, I've become more wiser.
We thank God.
I'm sure you've heard of something called Star Shop, which took people by storm last year.
Which one?
Star Shop.
I didn't follow that one.
Yes, it's the same thing you were talking about, where they start by trying to massage people by giving them too little money when they invest. Then the moment they put in a lot, it started saying the same thing you were talking about, site under maintenance. To date, a lot of people cried. Some men are going to sing and dramas to my booth. I come.
Shame.
Yeah. And then the last thing, there is a documentary on BBC which talks about, I think, the issue of TB Joshua.
Yeah.
Where one disciple calls him and says the greatest deceiver of all time.
Yep.
Yes. So it's quite opening in terms of
Did we just lose him?
We lost him.
Yeah. Okay. Please continue calling. Thank you, Christian, for your contribution. As a first contribution, we're very grateful for your comments. Whilst we wait for calls, there are some comments here on my page. Very interesting comments. But anyway, let's take calls. In case another one comes in, we can take that.
Okay. Let's see if we can connect this man here.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Reverend, how are you?
I'm very well. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Zulu.
Mr. Zulu. There's a lot of Zulus I know, but there's one Zulu I know.
Hold on. The one who is hosting you.
No.
I mean, I'm going to talk to the one who is hosting you.
Okay, no.
Mr. Zulu?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
And my reverend. And I picked some of my issues. From a disc jockey to a pastor to a reverend, he has done everything.
Baraka Pitam.
So you can't. So now listen,
yes.
Do these your colleagues in the clergy? Do they have time to maybe even sit with you and then maybe go through what they are doing that this is not right? I'm against out registered. What's wrong with him? Maybe call you and say, I think what I'm doing is bad. Do they have that time to think and then
You know what they say? You know what they say, Mr. Zulu?
Yes.
A prophet is without honor in his own country. That's just a fact of life. So many times, I know I'm one of those people. The time when I'll be lifted, lots of people will say, yeah, but by which time obviously to be too late. But and then I think I'll be really honored after I die. This is what I always think. But either way, I mean, definitely I know that there's a lot who know. You see, there are two groups. Sorry to take it long with Bazul with you on the call, but there are two groups. There's a group that know precisely what they're doing and they're being deliberate in being scammers, if you know what I mean. Even when they now know Kutiawe, but they've chosen to continue because it's their livelihood and this is what they're doing. Then there's a group that are genuinely ignorant and they are now learning and getting a shock. Now, the problem with that genuinely ignorant group is sometimes they are sitting under leaders who are also practicing those things. So, Chimavut. So, perhaps you just comply.
Listen, they have even gone as far as Gwendama, Misisi, Uchawama, coming of literally very poor people.
Yes. That's a fact.
What was going on? No, Kabisa 250, 500. And
Yeah.
people were all over in Chawama.
Yeah.
They give you 2, 3, 4 days later,
Gone.
that's all. Good evening.
Good
Thank you for the
evening.
information, Rev. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Zulu. Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
I think we'll take one more call, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
All right, give us a call. The number is 0974-870-877.
I'm reading a very interesting comment here, so I'll just have to.
Yeah, go through the comments actually while we wait for this phone to ring.
Okay, so let's see. So here's somebody saying, even in America, Cholwe David says, even in America right now, democracy is an illusion. Joe Biden was the nominee until 29th June when the real runners of the Democratic Party forced him out. Now they want to fool the public that Kamala was elected when she was just placed there. Then another. Okay, hello. We've got feedback.
How are you?
Good. Great. Go ahead. Who are we speaking to?
This is Joseph.
Joseph, please go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Nono, you okay?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good, thanks.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, great. So I'm following your explanation. It's quite eye-opening, and I want you to know that we appreciate you.
Thank you, Joe.
I also want to share a story like what happened in Chawama some time back.
Mhm.
So there's a company that popped up by the name of Save Africa. Not sure whether you heard of this. So it also scammed a lot of people. When this company popped up, I warned a lot of people personally.
Wow.
There's some close relatives have also brought that story up. I just knew it from the word go that this was a scam. People invested money in it. And I'm not sure whether they just changed names, but here in Chawama it came as Save Africa. So yeah, it's the same concept. You put in money, and then after a certain period they'll pay you back, stuff like that.
With interest and all that jazz.
Kind of. But over time, there are people that just cried blood, because they can come and just went under the bridge and it was
gone.
So. And a lot of people with millions and millions, thousands of catchers. So they got same company. It was all over. Some of the branch in Kabata, almost all over in Kapanana, all over.
Shame.
But there came a time when they just closed everything, and people cried.
Yeah.
So I can relate when you are trying to explain.
It's every 6 months we usually have a new one. So I'm sure
I'm sure to evolve.
They just close and come back in a different name. It's very sad. Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
All righty. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for your contributions. As you know, it's always a pleasure to come through. Next week, unless I have a guest, my topic is very touchy. It's called Unholy Hustle. So I'm going to be lifting the hood. No. You know when you want to see how does the engine work?
You lift the hood.
I'll be lifting the hood and showing you exactly how these scammers work. I already have a very bad reputation. I'm already hated. It's okay. They said, what kind of man of God wastes his energy on calling out people? Do you know how many people's lives have been destroyed by these scammers? For me, I'm not. You cannot use it. It is a shame. This is my closing rant. It's a shame that there are people who defend prophets and pastors in the name of let God judge them. When they are those pastors and prophets are destroying ordinary people, sending people to an early grave because they are scamming those people, destroying women because they are sleeping with those women and raping them and doing very serious spiritual things which I can't say. And they're destroying those lives of those women. There's a lot of damaged women right now who will never even get married. No. Because they were in the hands of a false pastor who destroyed them completely. So they are a wreck. They go out there, they do their life, but they will never find the fulfillment that they have desired because they went through the hands of one of those false, prophets. So next week I want to show you exactly what they do, because a lot of people say no, they operate with power, and I'm telling them they don't have power. They are just conmen. They are brilliant tricksters. Brilliant tricksters. And then the ones who are using power are using dark power. So I'm going to begin with the tricks first, And then on the next episode, we're going to go into the dark stuff now. Like the actual witchcraft that they are using and sorcery. And then you call it the power of God. Yeah, it's the power of their God, not the power of God. No. So do not miss next week. Tell your friends to tell their friends. That next week on Prosperity Insights, we're looking at the unholy hustle. This is going to be a very powerful, eye-opening training. So did I just call it a training? Revelation, information about exactly how these people work and how they take advantage of the gullible. On that note, back to you, No.
Thank you, Rev. All right, there you have it. That's it for today's episode of Prosperity Insights. Be sure to catch the good Rev next week on Thursday, just after 18:30, right here on Radio After 6. The news is coming up at 20 hours and the final hour, Throwback Thursday. Do stay tuned.